Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel Shiv Kumar News. Here I am only reading the Hindu newspaper. My purpose and aim is improving my knowledge and English only, nothing else. Therefore, please support and guide me. This is our today article about BJP and South picture by turning tides. K. Krishna's the BJP candidates for the Palakkad Assembly constituency during a road show at Palakkadi in 2024. Why the south of India is no longer impervious to the Saffron March. A case study of Kerala show how the large frontier of Hindutva is being breached in the south. A new book edited by Nissim Munna Tukkaren examines the rise of Hindutva in relation to the state's history, caste, culture, post-truth ideology, gender politics, and the Indian national space. Jia Ussalam. This article written by Jia Ussalam. The trajectories of North and South India history have moved at different levels. Unlike North India, where history is often a recollection of invasion and war, massacre, and destruction, the South has been more about commendation, assimilation, and affirmation, as recounted by historian Ramila Thapad in her landmark work History of Early India. The Arabs settled permanently in the coastal regions of the west and the south from the 8th and 9th century. They were welcome given land of trading stations and left free to practice their religious as had been the convention with Christian earlier in South India. Among the more interesting aspects of Arab settlement along the west coast is that each group adopted some of the customary law and even some form of worship from the local community with whom they had the closer contract. It is stark contrast to what happened in North India with the invasion of Sindh by Muhammad bin Qasim in 712 CE and later the raids of Muhammad of Ghaznavi. The dichotomy continues to this day. For instance, while North India has been awash with resurgent Hindutva since the time of the Ayodhya dispute and the consequent othering to fellow citizens of other faiths, large tracts of South India have consistently resisted the march of Hindutva forces. In the general election last summer, the Bharatiya Janata Party failed to gain even one seat in Tamil Nadu and won one seat in Kerala, a real force. But the limited electoral success does not necessarily mean that the South is impervious to the Saffron March, arguing that Hindutva is a real force which need to be contented with in theoretical and empirical terms. Journalist and writer Nissim Mana Thukren and the several other writers including Christoph Jefflot, T. Shri Kumar, Anil M. Varghese, J. Devika, and other exam the rise of Hindu nationalism in Kerala in new book Hindu Nationalism in South India, Routledge, placing Kerala in the context of South India. In several essay exam the rise of Hindutva in relation to the state, history, caste, culture, post-truth, ideology, gender, politics, and the Indian national space. Hindu nationalism appear more confident, proud, brazen, and belligerent than ever before. Manna Kuthran writes in the introduction, quoting Edward Anderson and Erakotung Long Kumar, but the expansion is not just electoral, it is also socio-culture. He says that is why, despite the lack of comparable electoral success in Kerala and South India, it is vital to map the tectonic changes that are happening at a discursive level across India. He writes, Mana Thukren explained how, despite the absence of seat on the electoral charts. The BJP vote share has been on the upswing in Kerala and to a lesser extent in Tamil Nadu. In electoral analysis of the National Democratic Alliance (NDA) and the BJP Kerala show they increase the vote share from 6.31% in 2009 to 10.83% in 2014 and further to 15.20% in 2019. While the increase in votes has not been enough to win any seats, the changes are very important considering that the Hindu population is only around 55% in the state. He notes in the 2024 Lok Sabha election, the BJP won one seat in Kerala with the actor and politician Suresh Gopi winning from Thrissur, while the Congress lead United Democratic Front bagged 18 of 20 Lok Sabha seats. In Telangana, the BJP won 4 parliamentary seats in 2019. In the 2030 Assembly election, it increased its vote share from 6.9% 2018 to 30.90%. Its total votes from 14.30 lakh 43 lakh to 32.51 lakh, and its states from 1 to 8. Effectively, every seventh voter had bought the BJP narrative of Hindu nationalism. The saffron's gain in the south are real. The could in the foreseeable further be tangible too. Surge in Karnataka. The most significant saffron's gain have been Karnataka, where the BJP made an electoral breakthrough as early as 1991. According to Mana Thukaren, the South India as a whole cannot be generalized, for there are regional variations among states, such as the significant advancement of Hindutva in Karnataka, but crucially, there are the variation even within state. Thus, there are frontier within state. For example, in coastal Karnataka, the BJP has won all 3 seats since 2000. Unique demographic and socio-cultural factor gave rise to a virulent Hindutva much before many other places, but Kerala had drawn a lot of attention as it is perceived as a left stronghold. Explain Mena Thukren arguable so state in India's recent time had drawn the ire of Hindutva group as much as Kerala. This has been amplified by the traditional media as well as social media network doing the bidding for the Hindutva dispensation. Thus, the Prime Minister compared Kerala with Somila in terms of development. Prominent television channel refer to the state's Pakistan words app forward and Facebook posts talk to Kerala's killing field of Hindutva activities and jihadi error factory. Deep root, the socio-culture change is taking hold, as Jeffrey point out in his essay. It happened through a couple of processes. Firstly, the denigration of secularism, religious figures wielding state power, new law targeting conversion, a ban on beef, the Hindutalization of street city names, the rewriting of the textbook, etc., which gave legitimacy to Hindu nationalism, and secondly, the previously covered but now visible form of discrimination against religious minority. While the rise of the Hindu politics had touched almost every part of the country, its roots go back all the way to the time of Jawaharlal Nehru. As Jeff Root notes, Nehru fought against all form of communalism, whether Hindu, Muslim or Sikh, not against religion per se. He never intended to separate politics and religions. Nehru outlined his view on the subject in 1961 when he said, "We talk about a secular state in India. It is perhaps not very easy even to find a good word in Hindi or secular. Some people think it means something opposed to religion. That obviously is not correct. What is meant is that it is a state which honors all faith equally and gives them equal opportunity. Thus, it is critical to remember what Nayantara Sehgal said: we are not all Hindu, but we are all Hindustani from Kerala to Kashmir." So guys, this is today video. Please like, comment, share, and don't forget to subscribe my YouTube channel and press bell icon for notification. Thanks for watching. We meet in tomorrow or next video. जय हिंद।